A very good evening and welcome to this Saturday's edition of News First Weekend, coming to you live from our News First studios in Colombo. I'm Arundhati Mudanaika. Let's start off with a look at the headlines for tonight. The President says that the tenure of local government institutions that have not been dissolved will be extended by 6 months. Under the leadership of the President, the country has seen many changes. A statement from Minister Susil Premajayantha. 11 years since the 2004 tsunami disaster. All unauthorized constructions in the Katargam area to be removed. President Maithripala Sirisena, speaking at an event today in Colombo, made an announcement on extending the tenure of local government institutions that have not been dissolved.
The ceremony to present school books to students in the Kotte municipality was presided over by President Maithripala Sirisena. The program, titled Nanasara Atvela 2016, was held at the premises of the Kotte Municipal Council. The President also presented land deeds at the event. The new electoral system for the local government elections was passed in Parliament during the tenure of the previous government. There was criticism and issues surrounding the demarcation of divisions. Therefore, as the new government, we have decided there is a need to make amendments. We call for appeals from across the country from people who want to make amendments. Faisal Mustafa is the Minister of Local Government and Provincial Councils. He is in charge of this subject, and we have appointed a committee for the amendments that need to be made to the electoral system for the local government election. We have received around 2,000 appeals. These appeals will be investigated. We cannot make the amendments for demarcation in a month or two. Last week I had a meeting with the Prime Minister and took a decision. This is to extend the tenure of all local government institutions that have not been dissolved by 6 months. Minister Susil Premajayantha also addressed the gathering. In a few days, we will celebrate the first anniversary since President Maithripala Sirisena took over the administration of the country. I once again thank the Mayor for making use of the final few days of the year 2015 to commend the operations of a municipal council under the governance of our party and the leadership of the President at a time where there is a change in the country and progress.
Minister Faisal Mustafa, speaking to News First, elaborated on the decision made to extend the tenure of several local government institutions and the elections.
His Excellency the President has advised us to extend the councils which are extended until the 31st of December. He advised me to appoint an appeals committee in terms of the Act, where 5 members were appointed, and there were about 2,000 appeals. And at present, we are looking into those appeals. Looking at ground realities, His Excellency His President realized that there was further time needed, and therefore he extended the terms for another 6 months with regard to those councils to extend until the 31st of December. Nobody can point a finger at the government with regard to this delay. All these reforms would take place. Time and space is needed to carry out these reforms, and therefore we would expeditiously have the election after completing the task given to us. I'm sure there is a very cordial relationship between the President and Honorable Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. So I don't think there are issues there, and that collectively these decisions would be taken, and we would have the election as soon as possible.
The MTV MBC Media Network organised a special live broadcast from the Newsfirst Centre in Colombo today to mark the 11th anniversary of the tsunami tragedy. Memorial events were organised across the island today in remembrance of the victims of the largest natural disaster to strike Sri Lanka.
At 9:25 this morning, News First, together with Sri Lankans at home and abroad, observed 2 minutes silence in remembrance of the victims of the Boxing Day tsunami.
Ever disaster, according to individuals.
The Paraliya train tragedy was one of the events of the 26th of December 2004, where the most number of lives were lost as a result of the tsunami. 11 years to the day, engine number 50 reached the location of the Paraliya train tragedy this morning. The engine reached the location of the tragedy at 9:55 a.m. The same time, the deadly waves washed away the train 11 years ago. A special train departed the Fort railway station at 6:55 a.m. today, following the chanting of Pirit in remembrance of the victims. Families of the victims were among the passengers on the train which paused at the location of the tragedy in Paralia. Families of the victims laid floral tributes at the memorial erected at the site, which was followed by a puja ceremony and a salute from the tri-forces. Several programs were held at the other locations across the country to mark the 11th anniversary of the Boxing Day tsunami.
11 years ago today, our nation was rudely awoken by a catastrophe the likes of which we have never seen before. In one fell sweep, the ocean, which has been a source of sustenance for hundreds of thousands of people, claimed the lives of tens of thousands of Sri Lankans. We had no experience of such a disaster and were caught completely unprepared. Many people were left in a state of shock and fear. In one of the darkest times in the history of our nation, the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited took the initiative to mobilize aid and relief for the victims. Every sector of the organisation came together to enforce one of the largest disaster response programs ever conceived. Over the first 2 days, the Tsunami Sahanayatra program, the TV and radio stations of the MTV MBC Media Network were mobilized to inform the people on the full scale and magnitude of the disaster and to direct them to essential facilities. When the realization struck that we as a media institution could do more, we went beyond the boundaries of media and took the forefront in mobilizing aid and relief for the victims. Almost immediately after we called for aid to be delivered to collection points, people from every corner of the country, from every walk of life, answered the call of the Tsunami Sahanayatra. The Capital Maharaja Organisation too made a major financial donation for this venture, and once the aid packaging was completed at the 2 collection points in Colombo, the convoy began its journey from the Kalani Raja Mahavihara. With the support of the people, we were able to reach out to affected people in 5 districts with 50 containers full of relief items. The people were the greatest strength in this venture. While the President at the time was not in the country at the time of tsunami disaster, upon her return our aid program was halted. While the 3 armed forces, the police and civil society provided support to our relief effort, some attempted to hamper it. Overcoming all these obstacles, the Capital Maharaja Organisation was able to reach out to our own people in one of the darkest hours of our history because of the support we received from you, the people of Sri Lanka. A mother and father claiming that a baby who miraculously survived the deadly wave belongs to them ran amok at the Kalmune Hospital 11 years ago. This baby, who showed to international fame as so many claimed him to be theirs, was named Baby 81. Today, he visited the Newsfirst newsroom. Found in the debris left by the wave that wrecked sweeps Sri Lanka's coast, this baby became a phenomenon after international media reported 9 sets of parents had come forward to claim him. Today he is 11 years old and is a grade 6 student of the Sembipalayam College in Ampara. During his visit, he was shown the footage of when 9 sets of parents came forward to claim him. On that dark day in 2004, the tsunami wave struck the Kalmune Hospital as well, taking with it the lives of many newborns and children. The baby on a cradle caught the attention of many. Although he was only a baby back then, a legal battle took place over this baby as 9 sets of parents claimed him to be their lost son. The baby and his parents were reunited after court-ordered DNA tests proved their relationship. The infant tsunami survivor nicknamed Baby 81 also appeared on a morning program in the United States of America.
Tsunami baby 81 and கூப்பிடுற பிடிக்க அபிலாஷ் என்று கூப்பிடுறேன் பிடிக்கும் இவ்வளவு நடந்திருக்குது எனக்கு தெரியா அம்மா அப்பா அவ்வளவு கஷ்டப்பட்டிருப்பாங்க என் அப்பா அம்மாவுக்கு கிடைச்சதுக்கு நான் ரொம்ப சந்தோஷப்படுறேன் கடவுளுக்கு தான் தேங்க்ஸ் சொல்லு படிச்சு பெரிய ஆளாகி டாக்டரா வந்து மக்களுக்கு சேவை செய்யும்.
In other local news, the Water Resource Joint Trade Union Alliance commenced a 2-day trade union action as a mark of protest against the reduction of their year-end bonus payments.
The Joint Trade Union Alliance notes engineers, executives and all other ranks would take part in this trade union action. It adds that during the 2-day trade union action, it will refrain from maintenance, accepting of customer complaints and attending supply failures. They, however, add that the water purification process will not be interrupted. The subject minister promised that there will be no reduction in the payment. Now it is said that Minister Ravi Karunanika is against this. At a time when funds have not been requested from the Treasury, there is no need for the Finance Minister to speak against this. We have not been informed of any major breakdowns. Over 200 minor issues are reported daily from across the island. It happened today and will happen tomorrow as well. Our objective is not to deprive the people of water, but to seek answers to our demands. The Water Resources Joint Trade Union Alliance notes that if their demands are not met, they would enter an island-wide strike action from Monday. Newsfirst contacted the chairman of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board in this regard. This time around, the bonus was 25,000 rupees. Some question as to why there was a reduction this year, because last year 37,500 rupees was given as a bonus. Last year, these employees did not receive any salary increment for 3 months. They were given a historic salary increment. We have studied the financial status of the Water Supply Board and we cannot dismantle the financial bonus by providing a bigger bonus payment.
The death toll from the accident that took place this evening in Nelundeni on the Colombo-Kandy road has risen to 4. Police said that 3 children who suffered injuries were admitted to the Kegol hospital. A tipper truck transporting sand toppled onto a van flying from Colombo to Kandy, resulting in the tragedy. Police add that 7 persons were travelling in the van at the time and 4 of them had died. The victims were 2 men aged 88 and 55 and 2 women aged 68 and 40. All residents from Nagoda, Kalutara. The driver of the tipper truck had fled following the accident and investigations are underway to apprehend him. Persons who face severe discomfort due to the Uma-Oya multi-purpose development project staged a demonstration in Bandaravilla today.
Around 500 locals from Makul Ella who have been affected by the Uma-Oya multi-purpose development project took part in the demonstration. They charged that the project had resulted in cracks in their houses in Ella, Bandaravilla and Velimada. They add that many wells in the area have also dried up. The demonstrators note that authorities promised to provide compensation to them over a year ago, and this has not been carried out as yet. As Sri Lanka was devastated by the tsunami, the Uva province has been affected by the Uma-Oya project. It's been a year. We have not been given any compensation. There were around 9 rounds of discussions with the authorities where various promises were made. In March they promised to compensate the farmers. What did the authorities do? Why are they not providing us with compensation? What is the issue here? UNP MP Chaminda Vijayasiri and Uva Provincial Councillor Samantha Vidyaratna were also present during the demonstration. It's been a year and the people are yet to be compensated. Discussions are held with the Minister of the Mahaveli Development and former Chief Minister Haran Fernando. Nothing was given. Around 2,000 houses suffer from cracks, and this is not only in the Bandarvela electorate. Court orders have been taken against the people who speak for their right to obtain water. The Prime Minister is overseas. Once he arrives, I promise to call for a discussion with you. I will discuss it and inform you. The demonstrators dispersed following this announcement. The Uma-Oya multi-purpose development project proposed in 1991 consists of the construction of 2 dams across 2 main tributaries of Uma-Oya at Velimada and Dyaraba. However, as demonstrations took place citing that the rights of water were being violated and technical failures in the project, this proposal was rejected. 85% of the funding for the project comes from the government of Iran. Since the commencement of the project, locals from many areas staged demonstrations from time to time, demanding solutions to the issues that arose as a result of the project. On the 6th of March, News1st also organized a special Gammedda program to bring about the solutions for the issues these people faced. However, authorities have turned a blind eye to these people who have been severely affected through the years.
A ruptured sewage line continues to make life difficult for locals living down Church Street in Slave Island, Colombo.
Residents of Church Street in Slave Island staged a protest on Thursday evening lamenting the lack of a proper drainage system in the area and the problems they are facing as a result of a cracked sewage pipe. Although the municipal council provided temporary solutions for the issue from time to time, these people continue to face difficulties as a result of the issue. Officials from the Colombo Municipal Council visited Church Street today to inquire into the issue that had been prevailing for 3 long days. Locals say that the officials left without carrying out any renovation work as they failed to locate the location of the rupture on the sewage line.
We told Sirasa yesterday that the sewage water is overflowing and that the drainage lines have been filled. We said that we have no one else to say this to. They showed this to CMC officials on the television. After this, the CMC officials arrived here in the morning. They cleared the water off the drainage lines and they left. We need a permanent solution to this issue. There are more than 50 families in this area. The small children have to go to school over the sewage water. Please do not come here for sure. We need a permanent solution to this.
Water is filled everywhere. The children cannot travel. We have to step on this water and enter the places of worship. We forwarded the issue to the Deputy Mayor of the Colombo Municipal Council, Titus Pereira, today as well. The Deputy Mayor said that the rupture was a result of a blockage in the sewage line and that immediate steps will be taken to renovate the line.
KLL Jayatillaka, the Secretary of the Kathragama Pradeshya Sabha, says immediate steps will be taken to remove all unauthorized and irregular shops that are operating in the area. The Secretary expressed these views to Newsfirst when inquiries were made regarding the arbitrary charging of money from devotees visiting the city.
Over the 4-day holiday, more than 1 million devotees have visited Kathragama. The Basnayaka Nilame, or chief layperson of Kathragama, says the holy city has received a record number of visitors over the season. Members of the public accused restaurant owners and those providing accommodation facilities of taking advantage of the situation to charge exorbitant amounts of money. We bought lotus flowers which were priced at 50 rupees each. They are engaging in unfair business practices. There are major differences in the prices of goods. The Consumer Affairs Authority and the Kathragama Pradeshya Sabha are responsible for making inquiries into establishments with uncontrolled prices. Members of the public say the current situation has arisen as a result of both institutions failing to intervene. I looked into this and informed the police as well. I sent people out to look into the prices at shops and the price of accommodation, and in truth these prices are very inappropriate. It is true that hoppers are being sold at 40 rupees each. Even items used for rituals have been priced exorbitantly. Authorities say that the situation has arisen as a result of area residents embarking on whatever business ventures possible to take advantage of the opportunity that has arisen. This year it has been reported that exorbitant prices are being charged for items like tea and hoppers and for hotel rooms. In truth, the people here live on business. Many people sell flowers and fruits to make a living. We are hoping to implement a system together with the Consumer Affairs Authority to decide on maximum prices for hotel rooms, for example, so we can resolve this problem in the future. Meanwhile, several issues have arisen as a result of the lack of sanitation facilities for devotees visiting Kathragama. Our reporter says that this has led to pollution on the banks of the Manik River. In addition, visitors to Kathragama have also fallen prey to dubious parking lot operators as a result of the lack of a proper system of controls. We were not expecting such a massive crowd. This situation has not arisen in previous years. The Urban Development Authority has a plan titled the Kathragama Development Plan, which includes matters like parking facilities. We will take this situation as an example and take steps in the future to establish health facilities as well and erect temporary latrines to address this problem.
Crowds in their numbers arrived at the Splash 2015 Trade Exhibition and Carnival today as well. Sponsored by Newsfirst, the event is taking place at the Capital City Centre. An amateur news anchor who was selected from among those who took part in Newsfirst screen test conducted at the venue was given an opportunity to present a live news bulletin today.
25-year-old Harshini Rajapaksa, who was selected from the Newsfirst screen test that was conducted, was among the large number of competitors who visited the venue. She was also given the opportunity to present the live at 55 news bulletin on Sirasa TV at 3:55 this evening.
රත්රන් තොගයක් නීති විරෝධී ලෙස මෙරටට රැගෙනීමට තැත් කළ පුද්ගලයෙකු අද කටුනායක ගුවන්තොටුපළ රේගු නිලධාරීන් විසින් අත්අඩංගුවට ගනු ලැබුවා.
Harshini is a past pupil of Swarnamali Balika Vidyalaya in Kandy. I run a small boutique shop and that is my profession. I'm very glad that my daughter was able to reach a higher level than us with Sirasa.
With that, we wrap up tonight's edition of News First Weekend. Thank you very much for joining us. Good night.